Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. This is Kathy, and today I have a caramel swirl ice cream cone to share with you. And I'm just going to jump right in and start coloring the ice cream since I've already done the cone a couple of other times. I'll make sure to leave a link to those videos at the end of this one. And for this first part, it is kind of a speed coloring video while I do color in the ice cream because I did the same technique on this one as I have all the others. As usual, all of the colors that I use will pop up on your screen. They'll also be listed down below in the description as well as over on my blog. When I get to the actual caramel part, I will actually slow the video down and come back and share with you how I did that. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and play some music for you to enjoy while I do the coloring of the ice cream, and I'll be back soon. To add in the caramel swirls, I did want them to be more of that golden caramel color, so I chose a couple of different YR markers. I pretty much just kind of invented my own areas where the caramel swirl would actually be. I did Google a picture of caramel swirl ice cream and did use that as somewhat of an inspiration as to see how it would look if it were scooped with an ice cream scoop and squished into a cone or a bowl. And I did start with the lightest YR just in case I didn't quite like where I put it. It would be easier to fix. And then I moved on to a deeper gold color and went directly over the original lighter color and kind of made it spread out or bleed out a little bit because in the photo that I was looking at, the caramel was kind of melted into the ice cream part, I guess is the way to describe it. And then just to make sure that I had a really good caramel color, I went over it with an even darker color. And where there's kind of dips in the ice cream, I kind of flicked out just a tiny little bit with that darkest color because the caramel would have been squished when it was put into the ice cream cone. And then I quickly go over it with one of the lighter colors to blend it out and make it feather out just a little bit more. And with that, I'll go ahead and play a little bit more music for you, and then I'll be back to show you how I did highlights using some colored pencils. To accentuate some of the shadows, I started with a colored pencil in the color Sand and used it mostly around where the caramel swirls were, as well as using the lines that were already drawn in for me as a guide. And then I went in and highlighted the areas where I wanted the most light to be with a white colored pencil. After I finish adding the highlights with the colored pencils, I move on to coloring in the whipped cream and the cherry. And with that, I'll go ahead and play a little bit more music for you to enjoy, and then I'll be back to finish up the card. For the background of the card, I'm not sure what happened to the first part of it. I think I don't know if the video was corrupted or I deleted it by accident. I don't know. Anyway, what I did was I took most of the sentiments from the stamp set and stamped them with Versamark ink onto a piece of Bristol smooth cardstock, coated them with white embossing powder and heat set it, and then I used cracked pistachio distress oxide ink to blend over some of that so I could have an embossed resist look. I didn't want to cover the whole panel, so I just did a heavier layer on the right hand side and then kind of went at a wonky angle down towards the left and used a lighter hand as I moved down to that left hand corner. I adhered the ice cream cone to the background panel using liquid glue, and I set that off to the side to let the glue settle in a little bit. And while that was settling in, I adhered a piece of mint green cardstock to a top folding A2 size white note card. Then I trimmed off the excess pieces of the ice cream cone and adhered that to the front of the card. To finish it up and make the caramel swirls really stand out, I went over it with glossy accents, and that finishes up my card for today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you've not yet subscribed, I'd love it if you would. And don't forget to ring the bell so you're notified every time a new video is posted. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.